Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there were two mighty kings. They were brothers. Shahryar, the older one, ruled a vast kingdom, and his younger brother Shah Zaman was the king of Samarkand. They were both strong warriors and wise rulers, loved by their people. For 20 years they ruled with fairness, bringing peace and happiness to their lands. But one day King Shahryar missed his brother. "I haven't seen Shah Zaman in so long. I need to see my dear brother again," he said. Instead of making the long journey himself, he sent his most trusted royal messenger, a man called the Wazir, with a fancy letter and incredible gifts: golden saddles, beautiful handmaids, strong horses, and even precious gems. He wanted to invite his brother to visit. When the messenger arrived, Shah Zaman was delighted. "My brother misses me. I must go to him." He quickly packed his things and set off. But just as he was about to leave, he suddenly remembered something. He had left behind a special gift for his brother. So he turned back quietly to get it from his palace. And that's when he saw something terrible. He snuck back into his royal bedroom, and what did he find? His own wife. But she wasn't just sleeping in their royal bed. No, she was cuddled up with a servant. And not just any servant, a lowly, dirty cook. Shah Zaman's heart shattered into a million pieces. He couldn't believe it. His own wife had betrayed him. His sadness quickly turned into rage, and in a flash he drew his sword and, well, let's just say the queen and the cook weren't in the picture anymore. But even though justice was served, Shah Zaman felt empty inside. The whole trip to visit his brother now felt meaningless. He left the palace feeling sick with sadness, barely eating or sleeping as he traveled. By the time he arrived at Shahryar's kingdom, he looked weak and pale. His older brother noticed immediately. "What's wrong, dear brother?" Shahryar asked. "You look so sick." Shah Zaman didn't want to talk about it. "It's nothing, just the hard journey," he lied. For days he sulked in the palace, barely eating and staring out the window. But then, one day something shocking happened. Something so crazy that it made him forget about his own sadness. One morning, from the window of his guest room, he saw his brother's wife sneaking into the garden. She was not alone. No, she was surrounded by 20 women, and as they reached the fountain, something shocking happened. Half of the women removed their disguises. They were actually men dressed as women. And then Shah Zaman's eyes widened as he saw the queen herself call out in a loud voice, "Come to me, my love." And who do you think appeared? A huge, ugly, slobbering man who looked like he had just climbed out of a swamp. He leaped down from a tree and hugged the queen like she was his long-lost treasure. Shah Zaman couldn't believe his eyes. His own brother's wife was cheating on him too. And not just with one man. All the women had secret lovers. Right there, in the royal garden. It was as if the whole world had gone mad. At that moment, something changed in Shah Zaman. "I thought I was the unluckiest man alive," he whispered to himself. "But my brother's misfortune is even worse." And just like that, his sadness disappeared. He started eating again, his strength returned, and his face regained its color. When his brother came back from hunting, he was shocked to see Shah Zaman looking healthy and happy. "What happened?" Shahryar asked. "You were miserable before I left, and now you're glowing. Tell me your secret." At first, Shah Zaman hesitated. Should he tell his brother the awful truth? But then he decided Shahryar deserved to know. So he told him everything. Shahryar was furious. "I must see this with my own eyes," he declared. So the next morning, he and Shah Zaman pretended to leave on another hunting trip. But instead of going far, they sneaked back into the palace and hid. Sure enough, the same thing happened again. The queen and her handmaids ran into the garden, their secret lovers appeared, and the shameless party began. Shahyar's heart filled with rage. "No woman is to be trusted," he thundered. "From this day forward, I will never let a woman betray me again. I will only marry a woman for one night, and then she must be gone." And so, from that moment on, Shahryar changed forever. He made a terrible decision, one that would change the kingdom and the fate of many women forever. But little did he know a clever and brave young woman was about to change everything. To be continued.